What do you want? I always start my workshops and my talks with this question. And listen, I'm not wrong for asking it because once you can answer that, then we can get to the real work. That's where alignment, action, and ownership come into place. But for this episode, I want to back up. See, for a lot of us, especially women who've spent years, maybe decades in survival mode, showing up, putting others first, that question, well, it doesn't land, as you can imagine. It paralyzes, not because you don't want anything. Of course, you want things, but because you've been trained to want less, to need less, to take up just enough space to be helpful, but never disruptive. So today I want to flip it. Hey, y'all, I'm Mick, and I am on a mission to wake women up and to remind women to bathe, to be anything and do everything. Why? Because you can. And truthfully, if you don't decide who you want to be and what you want to do, other people will happily decide for you. And for many of you, this has already happened. So today, instead of trying to answer that big, massive question of what is it that you want, what is it that you desire, we're going to flip it. And we're going to talk about reverse goal setting. So play along with me. I want you to close your eyes and think about the woman you want to become. You know, the one that you secretly admire, maybe even envy, and ask yourself, what are you willing to trade, to fight for, or let go of to become that version of her? Now, I am not talking about the Instagram highlight reel. I'm not talking about that filtered, curated version of this mystical, magical woman. I'm talking about the real, messy, unfiltered woman living the life that you crave and desire. Because to become her, it's going to cost you. And at first, it might even suck. It's going to shake everything you've built, your routines, your relationships, your identity. Listen, it rattles walls, and sometimes the whole damn house just falls right down. So, what the heck is reverse goal setting? See, you've already proven that you can juggle, that you can fix, that you can build, and that you can hold it all down. So nobody's questioning your grind, but here's the thing, and this is the thing that I don't want you to confuse: motion with meaning. Because somewhere between keeping it together and keeping everyone else afloat, you stopped asking the most important question. Do I even want this version of my life? Does this even fit me? So reverse goal setting isn't about chasing more. It's about cutting the crap that's no longer serving you. It's about finally saying, this version, this one that looks good on paper, that checks all the boxes, but feels off in my bones. I'm done with this version of myself. Reverse goal setting is not sexy, but it is sacred. Now, for me personally, I thought I wanted the vacations and the cars and the right zip code and all that stuff, all that fluff that really was not giving me any sense of fulfillment. I kept asking, is there more? What is it that I want? Why isn't that I feel so disconnected from this world? Because it turns out all that fluff didn't do anything for me. I don't want the fancy, shiny objects. I want the kind of life that kicks ass, that takes care of business, that makes an impact, that is doing something of meaning, of purpose, to give me the freedom of power, to be able to show up as myself, loud and grounded and unbothered. What I love about reverse goal setting is that it holds your feet to the fire by asking, what am I actually willing to trade for the life I say I want? Because every dream has a price tag. You want freedom? You're going to have to give up the safety net. You want a stage? Well, you might lose some people's approval. Want some peace? You'll have to stop performing. It's not about being fearless. It's about being brave enough to choose. It's about what you are willing to give up, whether it be your weight loss journey, a sober life journey, an empty marriage journey, the unfulfilled life, toxic relationships, a pivot in career, starting the business. And why I love this exercise so much, it's because it helps you identify the goal. And before you choose the goal, you have to check the price tag. I mean, think about it. We have been setting goals since we were in middle school, right? Like, okay, go to high school, then graduate, then get the job, then get then get married, then get the house, then get the kid, then get the matching holiday pajamas and take the damn picture for Christmas so you can send it to everyone and give everyone the idea that you're living this dream life. But yet you are exhausted, alone, and not fulfilled. So this is about flipping the script. And it starts with the truth and it's asked, what am I no longer willing to carry? What kind of pressure am I okay with? What am I ready to leave behind on purpose with zero apologies? Now, if you're not willing to pay the price, you don't actually want the goal. If you're not willing to pay the price, you actually don't want to become that version of her. That's clarity. Now, it's not for the faint of heart. To become that version of you that you are wanting, you have to be different. You cannot be doing it with the same tools that you've been using to get to this point. It requires guts. It's messy. It asks you to let go of things you held on tightly for so long, believing that they were the answers. Perhaps the title you wrapped your identity around for this career, or being Mrs. So and so because it was the right name or the right partnership. It forces you to give up on the routines that keep you so busy but not alive, of that version of you who performs instead of feels. This isn't about shrinking. It's about choosing what finally fits you. So let me give you some real life examples. I have a gal that I work with that she didn't want the stage. She didn't want the big titles. She wanted stillness, right? She was a high achieving megastar in the corporate world. And all she was craving, all she's been craving is stillness. But she kept performing because she was fueling others' lifestyles. But all she wanted deeply was stillness. So she actually discovered her yoga mat, if of all things. So she came back to her yoga mat, not to build a brand, but to find her voice. She was tired. She's tired of the noise, the doing, the being, the pretending. So to bathe for her, to be anything and do everything for her, was choosing silence over hustle and letting that be enough. And now she's teaching women how to breathe again, how to be connected again with their breath. That's her version of power. Another gal, she launched her first business at age 50. Now, she didn't have the perfect plan, but she knew deep down that she could not work another day building someone else's dream. 20 years of saying yes to someone else's dream and starting over, letting go of that. Of course, it was scary. But you know what's scarier? Staying stuck, staying unfulfilled, staying unhappy. So she started, she built, and she owns it now. Is it perfect? No. Is it easy? No. But for the first time, she's showing up fully as herself. So ask yourself, what kind of stress are you willing to carry to become that person? What kind of loneliness are you willing to handle? And most importantly, hear me on this one. What life would feel worth it, even on the hard days? That's the shift that needs to take place. That's where you need to start. So you don't need a bigger vision board. You need a clearer yes and a louder no. Hell no. Visualize the woman you want to become, not her outfit, not her Instagram grid, her life. And ask, what does her life cost? Time, sleep, comfort, ego? Are you willing to pay that price? So this is also important. If you're not, own that, okay? Just own that and adjust your dream, but don't adjust your worth. Reverse goal setting. Ask that you get honest before you get busy, because the life you want won't come from more doing. It will come from deeper choosing. So choose what lights you up. Choose what stretches you, but still feels like home. Choose your truth, even if no one claps for you. Build the life that fits you and burn the rest. And don't you dare wait for permission. This is your one life. You get to do this thing called life. You get to be happy. You get to get your joy on. This is the privilege. This is your right. Check out the show notes. I'm going to include a list of questions, and I really want you to pause, reflect, and spend time answering the questions about you, your needs, your wants, your desires. So next time, I'm Mick, cheering for you always. And remember, Bade, be anything, do everything. Bye.